19th of Season 2, Lisa's Substitute.
Co-starring 1970s icon and now joke Dustin Hoffman.
It's not a joke. he gave an absolutely stunning performance a couple of years ago in the TV show Luck. But yeah, now as a film actor, he's pretty poor.
Yeah, no one.
Meet the fuckers, meet the little fuckers.
No one talks about him.
No.
His star has waned a bit.
He has waned a bit, yes. He's no Rain Man anymore. But no, so Lisa's...
Or creepy stalker in The Graduate.
No, which gets referenced here. But yeah, so in this episode, Lisa's teacher, who's in a lot of them, whose name I can't remember. Miss Hoover.
Miss Hoover, yeah.
Miss Hoover becomes sick with what she believes to be Lyme disease or psycho.
It's like she thinks she's got Lyme disease, and it turns out later she's got
psychosomatic,
which means she was only imagining it.
Yes, so it's where people imagine they've got the same. Yes, so she has psychosomatic Lyme disease and is ill for 2 weeks, where a substitute teacher called Mr. Bergstrom comes in to teach the class. He is a smart and articulate teacher,
intelligent and
witty, urbane.
He's got different ideas about teaching. He makes teaching fun, but
he's very liberal.
Very liberal, yeah.
Yes.
They're basically everything Lisa could ever dream of.
Yes, and a direct contrast to her idiotic father, Homer Simpson. Yes, so Lisa hits it off with Mr. Bergstrom, and then Mr. Bergstrom...
She develops like a
fatherly sort of love for him.
Like a schoolgirl crush on him.
Yes.
Yeah, and then she's looking for any excuse to kind of connect with him.
Yeah.
And that's in contrast to her declining relationship with Homer.
Homer, yes. And then in the B plot, Martin, Prince, and Bart are both running for class president. And then in the end of the story, Mr. Bergstrom goes back he goes off to do another job in like the projects, he says, and Bart loses the presidential race because he appeals to the cool kids who don't vote.
Yes, and then at the same time, then Lisa is incredibly upset and Mr. Bergstrom's left, and she's basically just left with the only father figure being Homer.
Homer, yes.
Which is like the last thing she wanted.
Yes.
But then the two of them reconnect at the end of the episode.
They do. Even though he may not be the smartest or wittiest person, he's still a warm figure.
Yes.
Still able to make her laugh and be a father to her, and he at least still cares.
Yeah.
So it's a sort of bittersweet happy ending.
Yeah.
Episode. It's one of the episodes that ends on a very bittersweet note in a way. It's meant to be a happy ending, but I didn't think it was that happy.
No.
It's not the best bit. The best bittersweet ending they do is that one where Homer's mum, where he sits on the car. That's the best ending they did.
Yeah.
Yes. This actually episode reminds me of a lot of later ones, because you know the bit where he leaves the note that said "You are Lisa Simpson."
Oh yeah.
I thought that was going to be the last shot of the episode, because I haven't watched this. I think I only ever watched this once.
No, we had like maybe about 4 minutes left of the episode, so we had to do something, which I'm glad they did do, because it ties it together really well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to call it. I think that's the best episode so far.
I don't think it's as good as The Way We Were or Three Eyes on Every Fish. It's still a 10 out of 10.
I think it's better than Three Eyes on Every Fish. I think it's probably the equal of The Way We Were. Yeah. This one just pushes it slightly for me, because this is the episode where they finally get the family dynamics working.
Yeah.
Perfectly. Lisa's character is completely fully established in this episode. I don't think there's a better emotional punch at the end of any Simpsons episode so far than the note that Mr. Bergstrom leaves for Lisa saying, "No, you are Lisa Simpson." I think it's the first time that Lisa and Homer have their relationship is properly explored.
Yeah.
Even though they've got nothing in common whatsoever. Homer fully accepts that basically he's a loser, but at least he's got his family to help and support him, and he only wants the best for Lisa ultimately.
Yeah.
I think the B plot line is really funny. It's a good contrast to the kind of more emotional A plot. I think it's really funny. I like it a lot. And I like the reveal at the end that basically nobody voted.
That's really clever, is that? Because obviously Bart couldn't win; it would change the status quo. But they do it in a really clever, funny way that makes complete sense of in the universe the show's established.
And then the great, I love the joke at the end where Edna Krabappel's like, Bart's like, "I demand a recount." She's like, "Okay, 1 for Barton, 2 for Barton." And I noticed the really subtle little thing they did on the handwriting. I thought that was really clever, because it makes sense. Martin had been more cursive.
Yeah.
That was
And
a little
Wendell.
touch. And Wendell.
Wendell.
Wendell, I love Wendell.
Wendell's a great character. He's only in like a few episodes, but he's amazing.
Yeah, he's great, yeah.
I'm also going to call, I think Dustin Hoffman is the best guest star they ever had on.
Probably, yeah. He's great.
Yes.
Because, like, it's not a flashy cameo.
No.
He just, it comes natural. And the kind of references they make to past Dustin Hoffman films are subtle.
Yeah.
You know, but they're not in your face.
Well, yeah, it's like, if this was a modern episode, so there's a bit in this where Edna comes on to Mr. Bergstrom, and it's a direct contrast to the graduate scene, where it's through Mrs. Robinson's legs, and it's views Mr. Bergstrom.
But like, it makes sense for like Edna's character, because she is a lonely bachelor. Well, she's not a bachelorette, but because her husband's disappeared, they're still married. But she's a lonely person who's been established, but all she wants is just a man.
And it also makes sense. It's not just a scene where that happens. It's also a scene from Lisa's point of view. To contrast, like if it was just a scene where it was just her coming on to him, it wouldn't make any sense. But because it's told from Lisa's point of view and advances the story on, as in it deepens her relationship with him, is why it works.
Yeah. So it's not like a we're referencing The Graduate or anything. You know, it's very subtle.
Yes.
I think compared to maybe what we do now.
It almost feels like they wrote the scene and then thought afterwards, we could get a graduate parody in there rather than...
Exactly,
Exactly,
yeah. Well, we'll have a scene where she... Because what the writers needed was maybe something where it establishes Mr. Bergstrom, cares about educating. Yeah. And that's his most important thing in his life. So if we'll do a scene where Edna comes on to him.
Yeah.
Oh, we can also make a graduate scene because we've got Dustin Hoffman doing it. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
But Dustin Hoffman gives a very subtle, understated performance. I think he's really great. I really enjoyed his performance, I think it's the best episode so far.
Yes, it was a truly great episode. Some people hold this up as being the best episode of all time. It's got a really high reputation within Simpsons. Sort of, I would say that most people feel that this is sort of in the top 10. I don't think it's that good, but I think it's very close. I think it would be in like a top 30.
I think it's top 20.
Top 20.
Yeah.
It is.
I put it in the top 10.
You put it in the top 10?
Because, like, I don't think in terms of, like, emotional complexity they ever kind of... Well, they certainly matched it before, but it feels to me that this is the first mature Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Where the writers are really coming into their own. It's a step up from, season 1, definitely. You compare Lisa's Substitute to, Some Enchanted Evening, and you look at how far they've come in the space of 2 years. It's pretty incredible, really.
Yeah. Or what's the one in season 1 which is actually about Lisa? The one where...
the
horrible Moaning Lisa.
Moaning Lisa, yeah.
Yeah, it's so incredible compared to that as well. It's just amazing.
But it's just a really, subtle, believable story.
Yep, and also what's great is that even though Homer's he's sort of presented as a boob, he's not the villain.
No, he's not, no.
He comes across, he's not, smart, but he's at least he's understandable. Everything he does seems to be trying to help Lisa, even though he's pushing Mr. Bergstrom away in that scene where he's at the museum.
Yeah.
He doesn't come off as, hateful, just sort of stupid.
Well, he even admits that, I'm stupid and I'm not the best person to support Lisa, basically.
Yeah.
But Mr. Bergstrom's just man up. You've got to help and support her.
Yes.
But I love the scene at the end when Homer says I'm sure you'll find all your special people. You've lost somebody, and I've never gone through that. Because all special people are under this roof.
Yes.
And maybe one day you'll find loads of special people, and guys like me will just be serving drinks and so at that point Homer is accepting Lisa's intelligence and her potential to be great.
Yeah.
While Homer accepts that he's stuck here essentially. So it is a little bit sad.
It is incredibly sad. Well, if you compare the two characters, obviously Lisa will always be 8, but you can imagine she'll finish high school, go college or something, and then
really successful.
Yeah. Homer's quite a high school graduate who got a first job and then family and stuff.
Well, he never finished high school.
Isn't it? I thought he finished high school.
No, he never finished high school.
No.
He never passed one of his final exams. That's the one where he has to go back to college and do a course.
I thought, no, it's because he doesn't have a college degree, is that?
No, it's because he never got his high school degree, so he has to take a kind of course at a college.
Yeah.
As part of the episode.
Oh, I thought you meant the classic Homer goes to college.
Yeah, it's that one.
Really, with the nerds?
Yeah, well, what happens is Homer goes to a high school reunion, and they find out, because Homer wins loads of awards at that, and then at the end, Mr. Dondelinger comes out and he's like, wait a minute.
Oh no, those are two separate episodes.
I've gone through your permanent records and Homer Simpson never passed remedial. Oh no, sorry, yeah,
that's a different episode.
The point remains though, he never passed high school.
Ah, okay.
Just a different episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's another one where he never got a nuclear degree, so he has to go back to college to do it. But so he still never passed high school. He never got a high school degree, so he was a high school dropout almost.
Yes.
But yeah.
But yes, this is also probably the first one where Lisa even just comes in, or even you were saying the first one, the family dynamic, because I think it's the first one where Lisa's established.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Lisa's sort of the most, I think, best drawn character in the whole of the family.
I think so.
She's the deepest and most.
Well, she's the one that like the writers always say about like Bart is basically the kid we wished we were, but we were more like Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa's just a cipher for us basically.
Yeah.
She's established as being more liberal and intelligent and just more well-rounded as a person for the rest of the family.
Yeah.
I love the dynamic between Lisa and Marge as well. I've always liked that relationship.
It's great, yeah.
Again, they've got not much in common. Marge is a stay-at-home housewife, and Lisa obviously wants to be more ambitious than that. But they still find she still gives motherly advice, and there's still kind of a great mother-daughter relationship there. Like she asks, I love it when she asks a lot of questions like, does Bart have to be there? Yes, and
Yeah.
Do I have wine? Yes. Can I have wine? No. And she just answers all the questions just really coldly. It's really great.
Yeah.
No, I think it was the best episode so far.
I would say third best, but it's an incredible episode of television.
Yeah.
It's heartwarming, heartbreaking near the end. It's funny. It's everything a Simpsons episode should be.
Yeah.
Just all in one.
I love. I also really love the scene when he reads Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
And he's crying at the end when Charlotte dies.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, Homer and Bart say, "Oh, crying in a book. Oh, she's dead."
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It is great. But yes, a masterpiece of an episode.
Yeah.
As good as everyone says it is, anyone who hasn't seen Lisa Substitute, who's into The Simpsons at all, it's an easy recommendation.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, it's the first mature episode.
Yes.
But yes, that John Vitti's come a long way.
That John Vitti has come a long way. Also, as you point out to me, there's a bit where they go to Mr. Bergstrom's apartment and Jay Vitti is above Bergstrom.
Yeah, that was a fun little reference.
I thought what they'd have done, because you were like, oh, did you see that? I thought they were going to put like Kay Kramer.
Right, yeah.
Or the guy from Marathon Man. Or
whatever he's called in The Graduate. Creepy Stalker Man.
Creepy Stalker Man, yes.
We'll get to our review of The Graduate one day.
One day, yes. But
hint. I don't think much of it.
Lisa Substitute. Great episode. 10 out of 10.